Fumo de rola e de cangalha, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Bolo de milho, broa e cocada, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Pé de moleque, Alex em canela, moleque sai daqui me deixa trabalhar. E Zé saiu correndo pra feira dos pássaros e foi passo fumando pra todo lugar. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma bicada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma bicada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Fumo de rola e de cangalha, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Bolo de milho, broa e cocada, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Pé de moleque, Alex e canela, moleque sai daqui me deixa trabalhar. E Zé saiu correndo pra feira dos pássaros e foi passo fumando pra todo lugar. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma picada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma picada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma picada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Tinha uma vendinha no fundo da rua, onde o mangaeiro ia se animar. Tomar uma picada com umbu assado e olhar pra Maria Tujuá. Fumo de rola e de cangalha, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Bolo de milho, broa e cocada, eu tenho pra vender quem quer comprar. Pé de moleque, Alex e canela, moleque sai daqui me deixa trabalhar. E Zé saiu correndo pra feira dos pássaros e foi passo fumando pra todo lugar.
Some good energy there, Whimsy.
I look like, what? Are we awake now, huh? What?
Are we awake, Whimsy? No, you're
Well, I don't
fine.
have my lipstick on, but other than that, oh my
so
goodness.
you're just showing us your natural beauty. You look great.
I had a nappy poo. Okay. I had a happy little nappy.
It scared me a little too because I was trying to log on here. I was like, Whimsy, where are you? Where are you? I was
Well,
sitting in
I'm sorry. I was sleeping. I was tired.
Well, when you're sleepy and you need to do so, I'm glad you did it.
I wanted to give a special shout out to Jane Critchfield. Jane Critchfield has just joined Elders and Empaths, and so we want to welcome her.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
That's
So how you
fantastic.
feeling about the craziness of the world right now? Any feelings about it?
Craziness of the world. Well, I will say this much. My $32 million cashier's check went through, and I got the ruby slippers yesterday. Now, isn't that nice? I'm just kidding, of course. I made a pair of these many years ago, but I put a picture of the real slippers next to these on Facebook,
Oh,
and people said they
wow.
couldn't tell the difference. The only difference is mine cost $110 to make, and somebody out there spent $32.5 million to own the ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. But you know what I
Well,
will say about my pair?
how did you make those? You made those?
Yeah, I made these. Yeah, I was going to say the real pair were worn by Judy. These were held up to her wall crypt at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So that's about as close as it gets. No, I made these like 30 years ago. I got a pair of 1938 size 6B women's pumps, just like Judy had in the movie. And I had the diagram for how they were made, how the sequins were overlaid, all the bugle beads, the rhinestones, all of that. And 2 weeks later, after nearly losing my mind, I made my own pair of ruby slippers. So anyway,
Wow,
I just
what
thought that'd be
motivated
kind
you
of
to
funny.
do that? What motivated you to do that?
I had this bizarre idea at the time that I was going to sell reproductions of ruby slippers until I found out how hard it was to find 1938 size 6B pumps. And also 2 weeks of gluing down those damn sequins, I said, I'm never doing this again. But I thought, you said what's going on in the world and all the craziness. Well, 2 days ago, there was an auction of the ruby slippers. There are 5 pairs, but this particular pair went for $32 million. So I like the joke that
You could have sold yours as the fake ones, and you wonder if anyone would have ever known.
well, I have a conscience. I wouldn't try to do that. But
Right. That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. But I
So,
know you have much more serious things in mind when you said the craziness of the world.
well, yes. Who's with us today? You want to say hi to our guest today? Who's joining us?
Well, of course, our wonderful Joel Tilson is here,
Oh,
and
hello, Joel. Good to see you.
let's see, we have Melissa, we have Candy the Brave, like that name. Let's see, what does that say? That says Joe Boy and Boxers. Joy Boy and Boxers. That's a great name. Rose Blue. And let me scroll down here. Melissa, Joel, I don't want to repeat names here. Never 21. Never 21, late to dream. No, excuse me. Never too late to dream. Pardon me. Let's see. Oh, Joyce Petrus. Hey, my friend. Thank you for joining us. K Travel. Those are the people with us so far.
So as you know, things are going absolutely crazy in the world. I don't know if you've been keeping track. First thing on the list had to do with the assassination of the CEO in New York of United Healthcare by Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, what a character.
He was carried away screaming, "You're lying to the people. The American people are not stupid."
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the internet following he has right now? It's bizarre, first of all, and it's downright tasteless, but people are trying to make him like some movie star like James Dean or something, or like some anti-hero, and they're posting pictures of him shirtless and pictures of him looking like a GQ model in jail and that type of thing, and it's just weird. Really weird.
Do you think it's weird, or do you think that what is happening to the American people is criminal, and that he kind of captured the imagination of so many other Americans feeling the same way?
I was just going to say that it could be tapping into that. People's anger and frustration at the healthcare system, people being denied coverage. Wasn't he claiming that he had back issues and he was not getting proper medical care, proper pain medication? Of course, the way he's acting, it's like he's on too much pain medication, but I don't know. I think he could be mirroring that. But people seem to be making light of this on social media, where I think, wasn't it the governor of Pennsylvania who was on the news today condemning it, saying, folks, this is a man accused of murder.
Yeah, I think that it really does speak to just how angry everybody is about the whole entire thing.
Well, there is so much anger. We've known that's been one of the secrets of Donald Trump's great success. He's known how to play to those base emotions, that anger, and that seems to be what's going on with Luigi here.
Yeah, and also his mother evidently was suffering. So
yes, I heard that she had put out a missing person report on him like a month ago.
Wow. So he was, maybe he was on drugs for pain, and the drugs impacted his
That's
brain.
what I was wondering. Pain medication, because when I saw him on the news today, the way he was yelling and he was so irrational and crazy, you and I have seen that kind of behavior in people before when they've been on certain medications.
Right. Yeah.
And I base that also because they were showing footage of him. He was valedictorian of his class. He went to Ivy League schools. So they were showing footage of him from when he was younger, and he seemed quite normal. He seemed quite brilliant compared to that image of him today, shackled and being carried by a team of police officers in the jail, and he's screaming at the press.
Did the American healthcare system do this to him? Was he given poor healthcare, put on drugs, become a drug addict? Then he couldn't get the drugs. Is he the product of a broken healthcare system?
I wondered that, this story is clearly going to be unfolding because there's so much media interest in it. So I'm sure every little detail is going to come forth in the next few days. And I can't help but think it's just a matter of time before somebody does a made for television movie about this.
Yes.
It just plays.
Everybody has a crush on him. Everybody has a crush on him.
Yeah.
Well, off to the next bit of the news, and then we'll go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer. By the way, do you have a copy of the book? I can't seem to find my book.
Yes, I do have my copy here.
Yes, Rolodex is the book of the month. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Are you aware that Syria has fallen, Chuck? Assad is no more. He has escaped to
Yes.
Moscow.
Yes, I saw that he's taking asylum with Putin, supposedly.
Yes.
And he's gone, and it's quite something because didn't he rule under a dictatorship since the year 2000?
Oh, probably very long before that. But in 1963, I believe it was, maybe 64, 63, his father was part of a coup where the military took Syria. And then after his father died, he took over.
He assumed in 2000.
Yes.
So it was a continuation of the dictatorship. But it seems that, Russia and Putin have been so weakened by 3 years of war with the Ukraine that that seems to be how they were able to come forward like this and do the surprise seize.
Yeah. So what I think will happen is I think that they will isolate him, and I think that they will take out. I think that they will take out Iran as well, and there are a number of reasons for that. But basically, we've shown this to people a couple of times how we believe it will most likely go down. For people who are a little bit confused about what's happening, but we're pretty sure it's going to follow this sequence. We're pretty close to ceasefire right now with Hamas, but Hamas is a huge fan of Al-Qaeda, right? And Al-Qaeda has just taken. So the goal here is to get to ceasefire as fast as possible with Hamas, send them to a host country, and hope it's not Syria, and start the rebuild. But if you're looking at where we're headed with Putin, it's obvious that Putin is not somebody we can have a relationship with because he's unstable. He's proven himself to be an unstable partner when he attacked Ukraine. So for that reason, inevitably step 4 is they will probably isolate him. And if they can't try him in The Hague, which is what they want, then he'll wind up under house arrest in his own country. The dismantling of Iranian leadership, Iran took a huge blow because Hezbollah is their proxy army, and they were in Syria. But when Hezbollah fell, then they could no longer support their army. So this is leading to the dismantling of Iran, because Iran also was, not only did Iran have Hezbollah and Hamas as proxy armies, but they had the Russians, which also have fled. So we're also seeing the dismantling of Iranian leadership, the assassination of the heads of both Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to say about that?
No, I have nothing really I can add to what you just said. You pretty much summed it up. But I just find it very interesting. This is all happening quickly before Trump becomes president. I'm wondering if that's even an impetus behind this.
Well, do you think that Trump is the person to do the rebuild of Gaza? And that's the question is, could the Democrats have done it, or would we have argued? Because every time some humanitarian violation goes wrong in Gaza, and so they need somebody who's going to be fearless and ruthless to do the rebuild. It seems like that's what they're saying. And so they're happy to they want this done and ceasefire. Steps 1, 2, 3, and I assume 4 and 5 will follow. He wants that before he gets into the White House, and he said that because he wants to start the rebuild right away.
Right.
And I imagine that Elon Musk wants to put boring subway systems into, and they want to get this started.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Elon Musk. Do you feel they're aware of this, that Elon Musk may be the real person behind all of the rebuilding? Trump, of course, will take the credit for it.
No, I think everybody pretty much knows that this is what's going on,
Mhm.
and that they plan on doing a Marshall Plan. And but this is a very delicate time right now because we don't know what's going to happen with Syria and Israel. But
And
yeah, you're going to say anything, and
well,
then we're going to do the.
well, I was going to say what's going on with Israel. Aren't they? They're acting to stop. They believe that there are chemical weapons that
That's
have
right.
been stockpiled.
We don't want any of the weapons to get into the hands of Al Qaeda. So,
so isn't
and
there
the United States,
Israel may be invading for that reason?
yeah, well, and also the U.S. bombed 75 targets.
Oh my God!
We've been bombing.
Yeah.
So Assad's planes are gone. His planes. Yeah.
That's pretty paralyzing.
The big concern now is to control for smuggling into the area. We don't want smuggling to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what Israel's
weapon smugglings.
Yeah, weapons.
Well, would you like to blitz away, Chuck?
Sure.
Yes. And you want to show our book of the month to people? Oh,
look who came to join me, Sasha, little psychic kitty. So I'm going to put her down and show the book of the month. Yes, of course. Here we go.
Rolodex. And have you started Rolodex yet?
I have started reading. Richmond Burton has a beautiful writing style. You know, I love the selections you pick, and I love the fact that we're giving voice to all of these independent writers. You know, each of these books, I marvel at how good they are, and I even wonder why couldn't they get major publishers? And maybe the best approach is to self-publish like this. Go with small independent means. That seems to be what's reaching out. You know, because I once tried to sell a book to a major publisher. I know how difficult it is and all the politics and having a literary agent. I think if I ever try it again, I'm going to take this approach also.
Yes, I think you should do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll do the Empath's prayer. Please join us if you know the prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's go ahead and start getting to everyone's questions. If you could like, share, subscribe, that'd be awesome. It helps grow the stream. Again, we want to give a shout out to everybody who has joined. We appreciate all of our new members. Jane Critchfield, thank you. Ann Dillon, thank you. Anthony Rizzo, Joel Tilson, Kay Travel, Joyce Pietris, Rose Blue. Thank you so much for your memberships. And thank you to everyone else for being here today. All right. So the first question that Joel Tilson wants to know for the group is, what do you see for the future of Syria now that Assad is gone?
Well, I'm always amazed at what drops out when I shuffle the cards here. I hope this is good, what I'm getting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, for the first two cards, I got, I'm sorry to hold these up, restriction and discontent. I think that's more or less obvious. But then this came out, creativity and celebration. To me, it feels ultimately positive once they get past the hurdle here, there's going to be a lot of creativity and ultimately celebration and good. Those were the cards that I got. What did you get, Whimsy?
Yeah, the same thing. I don't think that Al-Qaeda is going to be able to take Damascus, for long. I think that they're going to, if they want to survive as a country, they're going to have to create alliances, and it's not going to be with Russia, it's going to be with the Arab world, and the Arab world wants the Abraham Accords. These folks probably want a piece of the Abraham Accords. You can see the Knight of Cups is moving in as the first house, which would indicate like an emissary or somebody coming with good tidings. And then we have the response of them, well, what do we get out of the deal if we don't invade Jerusalem, right? And then we have the possibility here of a new beginning with the Four of Wands. And then we have the 10 of Cups. And so it's also that we may be seeing Europe saying, okay, it's time to go home now. If you are in Europe, you can now go back to your home. You can go back to Syria because Assad is gone.
That feels good.
Yeah.
It's like ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah, but it could be that people are losing their right to stay in Europe now because they can go home. But Three of Wands, again, is quite auspicious. In the next 3 months, we have something new being built. And then the opposite, and then again here, I think they're going to get assistance from the International Arab League over their rebuild. Hopes and fears that they still have ties to terrorist groups. And then the final outcome for them is betrayal. So expect them to be fighting for power. They will begin, as they jostle for power, they will begin to fight for power. That's what I anticipate. Mm-hmm. So 10 of Swords is to be stabbed in the back. So, maybe the guy in power makes a decision to have relationships with certain people, and then other people don't support it. So there's backstabbing and intrigue. It's going to take a while for them to get stable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about Assad? What do you see for Assad? Do you think he's going to be tried internationally?
Oh.
Let's take a look at Assad himself.
Let me start shuffling through here. Whoa. What I got wasn't so great for him.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well, one of the cards, I'm even reluctant to say it. I'll say it at the end, but I got despair, loss, deprivation. Those are the cards I got. Now this one, I'm even reluctant to even hold this one up, but I got death also. Now that may not mean physical death. That could just be death to his way of life, his leadership. Then maybe that's what death means. But these first three cards, just despair, deprivation, loss, not good for him.
That is really realistic because so many people want this guy tried.
Yeah.
The star. He is the star of the show. Where did he go? I didn't feel that he was dead, and evidently he did make it to
yeah.
There's this investigation. I think they want to try him. He's completely confused about how fast it happened. His final outcome is the moon card. This guy's like a lunatic. He may feel that he's thrown to the wolves. If Russia is, look, why should Russia be loyal to this guy?
Right.
Why not just hand him to the West in good faith and let him get drug off by the Hague or whoever?
Sure.
What amazes me about these cards is that nobody has any loyalty. I don't feel like anybody has any loyalty at all to Assad.
Isn't that often the fate of dictators?
Yes.
Yeah, and dictators often seem to be under self-delusion that they're going to rule forever. and
Right.
beyond them, they have that delusion built in. So I can see where it would have been all the more of a shock that this all tumbled so quickly for him. And now he's in exile in Moscow, allegedly. Or is he definitely, or is it allegedly he's in exile?
I think that people saw him in he's arrived there.
Yeah, it's definitely a fall from grace. That's the big thing I get, and that's why I'm even wondering if the death means that death of his way of life, his leadership, his control. I don't know if it means death to him specifically.
Well, actually, he's got lunacy over his health, so this guy's lost his mind. I mean, he was an optometrist, and he became a dictator, and his prison sounds like a hellhole. I can't even imagine what those people were put through.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this just in is that Taiwan has been surrounded by the Chinese Navy. This is the energy I'm concerned about, is that America goes straight into war. And if we go into war, are we looking at the possibility that we will have to delay the inauguration? But do you want to take a look at China and whether or not China plans on attacking Taiwan, or if they're just exercising their aggression?
I would think they would be exercising aggression against the U.S. for the tariffs Trump wants to impose.
Yes.
But for Taiwan,
what's going to happen? Oof.
Getting cards, but they're a little bit vague here, but yet negative. I have suffering, competition. That's an easy figure. Loss.
Yes.
Deceit. Shadow. And I also had fall out of my deck, decisions, and then ultimately shame.
It feels to me a lot when you go into this energy with China, it feels to me similar to the energy of Russia with Ukraine. Like they want it. They want it. There's some real confusion in China. And we have to make a decision about their aggressive behavior. Sun coming out. I don't know if they necessarily will take it, but look at this. The devil, they cannot let this go. They want Taiwan. Taiwan is China. Taiwan has always been China. We want China back, right? The family legacy is what they're fighting over. I think that until America sits down and makes a deal, a war king, they want war. And then the hopes and fears, economics. You're right. It's about the tariffs. And then the final outcome, Trump is going to have to make a new deal with them that's going to be a sweet deal with the Seven of Pentacles. Otherwise, they're going to continue to behave aggressively. I don't know if I see all-out war, but more an aggressive stance. And I think it has to do with Page of Pentacles, which can be contracts regarding money, messages regarding
So it's more like economic war.
Yes. Yeah. Like an economic war.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that's been in the news, and people have asked if we can do some psychic hits, remote views on it. And that has to do with the fact that there have been a lot of drones showing up in New Jersey. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I was reading about that. Let's see, in fact, the New Jersey mayors have been penning letters demanding action on these mysterious sightings. And they're saying that these drones are much larger than what the typical hobbyist would use. Those little drones like you can get at Best Buy, that type of thing. These are much bigger. They're far more conspicuous. And they've been flying close proximity to a military installation and also Trump's Bedminster golf course. Interesting there. And I don't know. What do you know about it, Whimsy? What have you
I
been
think it's
told?
Russia.
You do. Well, it's also interesting. Remember that Chinese spy balloon
Yeah,
that was shot down? Was that just a few months ago? I can't remember if it
that
was
was a
last.
couple of years ago.
Oh, it was that long. It was that long ago?
I think so. Yeah.
Time flies. But yeah, I was immediately thinking of the Chinese spy balloon, and there could be something like this. But I thought, if they're spy devices, why are they so conspicuous? Wouldn't they be more undercover, more subtle? Instead of making this big dramatic thing where everybody's looking up in the sky and seeing them, and
My
near
concern
juicing
is my
mayors are
concern is
reporting.
that it has a payload
Uh-huh.
and it could be coming off ships, they say, off the Atlanta. But my feeling and the design is it looks like it could be old Soviet. The concern is that it has a payload. And
Uh-huh.
what's the payload? Could it be a nuclear payload or bombs? And
Wow.
then it goes undetected, and then you get hit. And but it feels to me Russian. It feels to me Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. It doesn't feel like it's alien beings or anything, but that's got me concerned
No.
that Russia can come in with drones and do this.
Well,
'Cause
that's
this is
scary as hell.
yes.
Yeah.
The one was shot down and it caused a lot of fire, so it had a lot of fuel. These things
Mhm.
seem to be carrying a lot of fuel.
But I still just wonder, why would they be so conspicuous, so large and conspicuous?
Maybe to rub it in our faces.
Yeah, that would make sense.
What's the purpose of the drones? Let's take a look. What's
Purpose of the drones.
And I guess if anybody has seen the drones, let us know. We'd like to know what you saw.
Yeah. In fact, I think I saw also that drone flight restrictions have been imposed by the Federal Aviation Administration in response to this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if anything is allowed, drone-wise, to be in the sky right now over New Jersey, or I don't know if that even applies to all of America. I'd have to look more into that. I don't know if you know anything about it.
Mm. What are you feeling?
When you said about the Russians maybe even wanting to rub it in our faces, I found it interesting. I got a card, bravado, like, yeah, we're going to show you who's in charge here. Yeah, just try and stop us. Dominance. That's just one aspect, but that made sense to me when you said that. But I'm still trying to see what's coming up here with the cards. But that one dropped out, bravado.
Yeah, do you think that? So that's what it feels like to me. Also, you have this warring king, which has me nervous too.
Well,
so
it's also interesting. Sometimes I don't entirely understand why these drop out. I have to think about these cards a little. But truth came up also, meaning I think we're definitely going to find out what's going on with these. I think the truth will emerge. But yeah, a certain amount of bravado here from the Russians. The cockiness, arrogance. We're going to show you who's in charge here. But let me see. Let me just keep going here, see if anything else comes out of the deck. Well, this one came up, deceit. Obviously, there's something hidden here, deceit, spyware, smuggling, getting something past us, deceit, that's coming up. I believe truth will emerge. But what are you getting, Whimsy? I'm not getting anything really, really strong here.
yeah, I don't think they're aliens. People wanted
Yeah.
to know if they thought it was aliens from another dimension or something like that. That's not what this is. When it feels to me like these are large drones that have a high fuel source, and they can be used to spy, but they can also be used to carry a payload, similar to
Yeah.
what we saw with drones attacking
Yes,
Moscow.
I thought one of our viewers said that they're the size of an SUV. They're pretty big.
Yeah, they've got the larger drones now, and those
Yeah.
can deliver packages. They can deliver all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
if it had an atomic weapon on it, the concern is if it had an atomic weapon, and then, we can shoot down atomic missiles. But
Yeah.
what if there was a drone that had an
Yeah.
atomic missile?
That's a very good point. Because I'm not feeling like there's anything necessarily atomic right now, but this is kind of like testing the waters, and it's a little message to us, well, in the future, it could be. So watch out. And as you said, how do we easily shoot something like that down without creating a catastrophe? Ruth Davis here said maybe Putin is sending another message to 45 that Putin still controls 45. That could be part of it. Part of what we were saying about the bravado, the arrogance. Joanna Carson said, yes, I saw one in Dallas 1 month ago.
Wow, that's really scary.
I thought it was a prototype from Lockheed Martin in Fort Worth.
Oh, so maybe it's us and we're not being public about it. It's interesting that, but they shot one down.
They shot a drone down?
They shot one of them down.
That's right. You mentioned that.
I'm not getting anything scary, though. I'm getting new contracts.
Yeah.
The thing is traveling. Concerns about mischief, but partnership. It could be that we're testing drones that are owned by an independent company that has contracts with the U.S. Defense or something like that. But I feel like there could also be Russian drones coming in.
Oh, easily. There could be.
But at this time, I don't get any kind of spooky vibe.
That's what I was getting. The energy I was getting overall was it's benign. There's nothing harmful now, but it could be a warning for the future. If they can do it this easily, my God, they could. When you brought that up about nuclear weaponry, that could be put on them, and they would be hard to shoot down, without creating havoc.
All right, this next comment is coming in from Joel Tilson. It has to do with the fact that the healthcare industry is really killing Americans. We had talked about Luigi before. Mm-hmm. Do you see any major changes happening with the way that insurance companies operate going forward? Are we going to see changes as a result of this?
I'm afraid with the Trump administration, it's not going to be good changes. That's just my initial hit. And I think maybe that's just my own fear talking there. And then how much will RFK Jr. control this aspect? Well, I mean, as far as the Department of Health, is he going to have a hand in controlling insurance?
Let's take a look. The future of insurance in America and healthcare. Yeah, good.
You getting good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I got kind of a mixed bag here. I got survival and despair around survival, but community, meaning all of us together, and truth. So, and I see this as a positive card, that out of all of this, truth is going to rise to the surface, and maybe that will lead to reform. I'd like to think, anyway. What are you getting?
Yeah, exactly. Archangel Michael is the sword of truth, that the truth comes in, and we have, I believe, what's going to be a Senate hearings are going to start to take place. And we will see people outraged and demanding something because that's what they're supposed to do. But we have this also devil card, which would indicate some kind of corruption. And then the lover card, which could indicate changes, and then the courts coming in. So I think that what is likely going to happen is that insurance companies are going to be on the defensive, and then they're going to start trying to promote themselves based on the fact that they are less likely to deny claims. So it becomes an impetus for competition in the insurance agencies to try and improve the quality of the care that they're supplying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, this recent scandal with Luigi, this is calling attention to it. People like drama. They like stuff that makes the social media, stuff that makes sound bites. It did get a lot of attention. It pricked up ears, opened up eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And we know this is going to get dragged out for quite a long time.
Yeah. Joel Tilson wants to know about the relationship between Musk and Trump. Musk basically bought the party. What do you think is going to be the future of the relationship between Musk and Trump?
Well, hasn't Musk more or less bought Trump? So Trump can kick and scream and rebel all he wants. He's going to pretty much have to do what Elon wants, isn't he?
Let's take a look.
Unless he pulls the president card and says, well, I'm the president and I make the final word here.
I think that Trump is being controlled, just like he's controlled people. And I think that Elon Musk is going to get what he wants.
Yeah. Well, I got a real complexity here with the cards, because it is a complex relationship. Now, partnerships and love, I'm not saying it's that, but nonetheless, that does apply to their partnership, certainly what they want to present publicly. And then I got leadership, partnership, and love. So I think that's the facade they want to project. But underneath that, I got decision. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold these up. Decisions, denial, exhaustion, and ultimately balance, meaning there's going to have to be a lot of compromising, a lot of balancing. The exhaustion, I have a feeling, is more to do with Trump than with Musk. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy relationship, despite what they want to present.
I see Musk getting a lot of what he wants, like the sun coming out. And look at this, Ace of Swords for Elon Musk. He is very aggressively going to do everything he wants. And then the Star, and then Eight of Swords would lead me to think that there's a constriction here. Maybe Trump is going to be constricted in ways that he wasn't the first time around. I see Trump controlled in ways that he wasn't controlled before. And also, he's trusting everything over to Elon Musk. The masters have 1 year. They have 1 year to come up with their recommendations, dodgy, for how to slash money from the American budget. But yeah, so I don't see them breaking up anytime soon. I'm sorry if people were hoping for that.
No, I wasn't getting that at all. But I almost had to laugh a little when I saw partnerships and love over leadership. That has to be their facade, but Trump just, and also I got that card on exhaustion. I mean, just as you pointed out many, many times, Trump just seems so diminished, so exhausted, so tired. Like I'm sure you saw the Meet the Press interview on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Very subdued Trump.
Yeah.
Still lying, but very subdued.
All right. So what do you think for the future of Iran's regime? Do you think that Iran has a future? Or I think they're going to fall. I think that the Shah's family is going to come in. But let's take a look.
Based on this card here, death came up again. I think, That's what I got.
Yeah, it's a new day in Iran. They're talking about this new
Mhm.
world, but look at the old world. Dang.
Yeah,
Tower. I really feel like just as Assad fell in Syria, we will see the collapse of Iran. You can see increasingly controlled in Iran.
yeah, yeah.
Clarification over Iran's future is I see strong leadership. They could even have a female in position of power, not just the Shah, but I see some
That
strong
would be
female
extraordinary.
leadership happening.
That would be extraordinary.
The courts are coming in, and possibly the courts could even try the religious extremist for violating laws as a religious extremist. You can see the heartbreak also. Khamenei may be done. There's something also about a war happening and him being constricted. So I think we could see the end of Khamenei in the
Yeah,
very near future.
but that would just
Yeah.
be extraordinary. A woman, the way they treat their women, repress
Yeah.
their women, then a woman would be the leader. Now that would just be miraculous. Almost, I'm sure, to many unthinkable. So that's interesting you picked up on that. But I see ultimately good coming out of it, don't you? Ultimate.
Yeah, I think that, the only way to get to peace is that both Russia and Iran have to be dismantled because
Yeah.
they will never, they have to be replaced with governments that are actually going to want peace with the West. We certainly do have to work out trade route problems,
Mhm.
but this is not the way we work out
Yeah.
trade route
Well,
problems.
when you initially mentioned courts, the first hit I thought was they might be ruled by martial law for a while before they can stabilize enough to have a leader.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense that they
that's
would
what
bring
I
in the
got.
military, and then the military would bring in the Shah's son, possibly.
Wow. The Shah's son. Where is the Shah's son right now?
France, possibly. I know that they
Yeah,
spend time in France.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still just remember the whole incident in 1979 when the Shah of Iran came over here, and hence the hostage crisis and everything. Um,
Mhm.
so I'd never thought about his son,
Yeah.
or his son ever coming back to power again.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So Joyce Petrus wanted to know about the drones. Why is it that they can't get rid of the drones? Why aren't they shooting down the drones? Why are they afraid to shoot down the drones? Do you have any
Yeah.
ideas about that?
Well, it sounds like what we were talking about earlier. What if they are loaded with chemical weaponry? We don't think there's nuclear weaponry on there, but if it were, you were to shoot that down, it would be cataclysmic.
Yeah, but we need
That's
to
what
do
I'm thinking.
something if we don't know who these,
Yeah.
um s
Or another reason, you said they could be ours.
yeah,
And if that's the case, we certainly wouldn't want to shoot them down either, unless it was just being done for show. But
right.
those are the two things that come to me. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. You were,
Oh, Maureen was saying that she saw drones in Pennsylvania, Havertown, Pennsylvania. These are like unusual drones. They're large and,
yeah.
they're the kind that could be used to carry things.
Yeah. Do these drones have lights?
Mhm.
Well, again, why would they make them so conspicuous?
Well, for all we know, this could be military drones,
Yeah,
and they're, with a private company, and they're testing them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So healthcare is a right. We already got to the issue of healthcare, didn't we?
Mhm.
Did we?
We talked about it.
Yeah. So we feel that eventually there is going to be some kind of reckoning there. The New York AG wants the judge to continue the verdict against Trump. Do you think there's any chance of that?
Sorry to say no. It looks like Trump is just getting away with everything. Now, I know it was said that state charges he's not immune to, like federal charges, but it just seems like everything is rolling off of Trump's back. But do you want to? What do you want me to ask the cards? What's the question?
Um, is the New York AG going to continue the verdict against Trump?
I'm going to do that with pendulum. Oh, I'm getting a strong no. Getting no.
Mm-hmm.
What are you getting?
Well, case stops, more evidence. There's also corruption. People could have been bought and sold. There's a betrayal coming. You know, people are concerned that maybe people were bought, sold, or compromised. And that's what may have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our Joel Tilson just mentioned Trump owes New York $500 million.
Yeah, so you have to wonder who is he doing favors to, or there's a lot of stuff that didn't come out, like the fact that he was blackmailing people, including the AG of New York, and nobody said it or did anything about it. The catch and kill stories and everything else. So it's amazing how many crimes were being committed, but nobody did anything about it. Yeah. Well, did you have fun, my love? Did you have a fun time today?
I did. I always have fun with you, Whimsy.
Yeah.
I love doing this show. I love all the people out there. It's a great privilege doing this show with you. It's my honor.
Good. I'm glad.
Thank you for it. And it's just so beautiful, all the people out there who join us each week. And it means a lot.
Susan Brannon says that she's worried that Social Security and Medicare will be cut and the money will go to the rebuild of Gaza. No, not really, because the rebuild of Gaza is like a Middle Eastern alliance. So no for that.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you this week? What are you going to be doing this week?
What am I going to be doing this week? I'm going to be finishing some art commissions for people, making phone calls for you. Going to have a friend over for dinner tonight, a little pre-Christmas. Other than that, not much of anything else. What are you doing, Whimsy?
I'm going to play my violin, and I'm thinking of making some croutons. Yes.
Oh, you make croutons?
Yes, if you have dry bread, you're supposed to make croutons, and then I might use that to make stuffing. I don't know. I've got food that needs to get cooked. I'm hungry. I want my dinner. So
okay.
Webb Shiva, Netanyahu's corruption trial testimony today focused on bashing U.S. foreign policy. Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that one's going. Netanyahu is similar to Trump in the sense that he breaks laws. He winds up in all kinds of criminally questionable situations. And then for whatever reason, he still wound up winning as prime minister of the state of Israel. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. All right, everybody. If you're trying to get in for a reading with Chuck Dransfield, you can check him out at DransfieldChuck
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com if you need to write him to set up your schedule. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can book through Booksy, or if you need to see me as a naturopathic doctor, all that information is below. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Hi there, sweetie. Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.